On today's Motor House, I'm going to see if I can fix my Porsche's misfire. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motor House, where, as you can see, I'm not in a Land Rover, I'm not in anything British, I'm here in my 2002 Porsche 911 996 Targa. Now, this is about as close as I get to a sensible daily driver, and as you'd expect, sometimes that ends in tears. The problem I've got at the moment is, bizarrely, I'm suffering quite a bad misfire. And it's a weird misfire. Normally misfires tend to happen under heavy load, or there's something obvious like plug leads or whatever. But in this instance, it's happening at low revs, and it's quite violent. And of course, with this being a modern car, I use the term loosely, but it's the most modern thing I've got, there's no distributor, there's no plug leads. This is a coil on plug system, which was, I suppose, pretty advanced for when this car was originally launched in the late 90s, early noughties. Now, of course, an obvious advantage of a car of this age is that it has an OBD2 port, so I can actually interrogate it and the car will tell me what's wrong. It's like magic. So I plugged in my ever useful Autel diagnostic tool, and yesterday it threw up that there was a recorded misfire on cylinder number 5. So you might think, oh, that's easy, just change the coil pack. Slight issue with that. You see, it's a long story, but at the tail end of last year, I started a major service on this car, and part of that was to change all of the coil packs. Now, it's a long story why the full service didn't happen, but I did change all of the driver's side bank of coil packs and spark plugs. And the interesting thing is, from the data I can find, a misfire on number 5 indicates the middle one on the driver's side. So I've got brand new coil packs on this side, brand new plugs, and yet there's still a misfire there. What gives? All right, so I've got a few theories. Firstly is that the coil pack on cylinder number 5 could be faulty out the box. I mean, these things happen sometimes, but I'm not convinced of that. What I am going to do now is, I'm in the car, I'm going to head over to Dad's workshop again, and I'm going to carry on with changing the remaining coil packs and spark plugs, because something makes me think that if the coil packs on that side are faulty enough that it could perhaps send a spark trigger down to ground if the insulation's gone, perhaps that could cause some strange cross-firing on the other coil packs. I don't know, but anyway, let's fire up the engine and head over there, and I will join you when we're in the garage. Uh-oh, engine's cut out completely. Okay, please start. Oh, come on. So we've got the car in the workshop, and what we need to do next is jack the car up and get at the coil packs. Now you might say, Why do we need to jack the car up to get at the coil packs? Well, this is what we're changing. This is an old coil pack. This is one of the ones that I've already changed. So you see you've got the coil here, and that goes onto the spark plug at the end. Now, I've got an Audi Q5 here. I've taken the engine cover off, and you can see that most conventional engines, coil pack, coil pack, coil pack, coil pack, all you've got to do is take the engine cover off, and you can get to them nice and easily. So you pop the engine cover on a 911, and yeah, that's about all you see. Engine stuff. This is a flat 6, or a horizontally opposed engine, and what that means is that the cylinders are here and here, and it means that to get at them, come down here with me, they're kind of up there somewhere. So to get them off the car, I gotta jack this up, get the wheel off, and then we can start accessing the coil packs. Fun. Okay, so car is up in the air on jack stands, and this is the problem facing you. That's one of the coil packs, and the others are all the way back there. It is one of these jobs where I have a look at it and go, how are these going to come out? But well, I managed to do the other side, so let's have a go. Alright, making some progress. So far not gone quite as badly as I thought. I can't quite emphasise how fiddly this job is, and you're into tiny little spaces using whatever combination of tools you can get to get a purchase on things, but so far, I'm probably going to jinx it, so far things have gone all right. Here we are. Actually got all 3 coil packs out. Now, this is the last one I've removed, and yeah, actually, that one's got a crack in it, just here. Okay, so that one is definitely past its best. There's no doubt about that one. That's definitely got a crack in it. And in fact, if you have a look around the edges, there's like, can you see that? There's almost like silicone on it. I'm wondering if that has started overheating and failing, if that's maybe the sealant that started leaking out from it. I don't know. Either way, that's one that visually, obviously, is not great. So definitely a good thing that we're changing that for some spanky new coil packs. Talking of which, spanky new Biru coil packs. Ta-da! You can't get the original 996 style coil packs anymore. They've been superseded, and what you fit instead are the 997 type coil packs. Now, electrically, they are identical. They're a dead straight swap. However, what you will notice, if you put them side by side, is that the body depth is deeper, and a 996 pack, can you see that? That's the bolt face there for the fasteners. So these come with new fasteners, So we won't be reusing these, even though amazingly they did actually come out okay. But we'll be using the new fasteners that come in the kit. And next stage is to get the plugs out, so we'll crack on with that. All right, plugs are out, and man, these are bad. The plug gap is so big on these, I am surprised that they even worked. And maybe, in fact, they haven't been. Maybe that's why we're getting the misfire, but we'll find out in a moment. Next step is fit the new plugs. Now, as you can see, it's a nightmare changing these plugs. It's probably the most... Well, I'm sure someone will say that they've got a car that's even more difficult to change the plugs on, but it's certainly an extremely challenging car to change the spark plugs on. So it's not something you want to do on a regular occurrence. So what I've decided to do instead of fitting like the OEM style Bosch Super 4 type copper plugs is fit some Iridium plugs as well. Now what I've gone for are these NGK Iridiums, if anyone's interested. That is the part number, BKR7EIX. These don't turn out to be that expensive. And with Iridium tip plugs, the general theory is that these should last tens of thousands of miles rather than, you know, the shorter service interval of regular copper electrode plugs. So these are going in, and then it's time to fit the coil plugs. We'll see coil plugs, coil packs even. Ooh, I need some coffee. Great success. All the coil packs are now reinstalled. Oh gosh, that was difficult. Quick tip I found is it does make it easier to some extent if you install the connectors on top of the coil packs first and then swing them into position. That way you can positively hear the click from the connector. Make sure you actually hear that connector go click in place, and then you can fit them home. So that's pretty much what you've got to work with if you're doing the coil packs and plugs on an M96 engine. Of note, I have an aftermarket exhaust on mine, so you can see there is actually quite a bit more space around here than perhaps you would have with a standard system. So that might actually reduce your working space a bit more. I don't know, I've never worked on one. However, obviously, good news is they're all in place now. Should we try a fire up, see what happens? Fingers crossed. All right then, the time has come. Let's see, shall we? Let it do its oil measuring. All right, fingers crossed. Here goes nothing. Outstanding. Yes, I know I need to put fuel in. How good is that? Ha-ha! Well chuffed, well chuffed. So, we're alive, we're running. So next thing, put the wheel back on, put everything back together. I'm going to clear all the fault codes on the OBD scanner, and we'll go for a drive and see if anything materializes. But great success. What a beautiful day to go for a nice drive. Classic British weather. We're here in Matlock Bath, all up at the Heights of Abraham. We've just been for a chippy tea after coming into Matlock, and I've come for a drive out with my friend Chris. Give us a wave, Chris, who has joined me in his fabulous, lovely Porsche 944 Turbo. What a magnificent thing it is. However, the $64,000 question you're inevitably going to be asking is, has all the work fixed the problem? So, let's see, shall we? Da-da-da. And... oh. No, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that it hasn't fixed the problem. I'm still getting bad misfires. I've checked on the diagnostics machine and we're still getting random multiple misfires. So it's going to need some more work, but for this episode of Motor House, that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in next time when hopefully I find out why my car's running so badly. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.